From the 2023 World Ag Expo, I'm Tony St. James. We ran into Aubrey Bettencourt. Aubrey is the CEO of the Almond Alliance. Aubrey, great to see you.
It's great to see you, Tony.
Okay, so World Ag Expo, for anybody who has never attended, how would you describe that?
This is the Coachella of farming. This is the festival of festivals when it comes to farming and agriculture in the world. There is, I forget how many countries come in, dozens and dozens of countries, multiple states. This is the true collective of, maybe it's more like a South by Southwest, because this is the meeting of technology, of entertainment, of food, of innovation from all over the world in the business of feeding and sustaining our growing world right here in Tulare, California every year.
Okay, so when we talk about the Almond Alliance now, for those who don't know what the Almond Alliance is, what's that?
The Almond Alliance is the American Trade Association for American almonds. Almond farmers in the United States produce 80% of the world's supply of almonds. We have a monopoly on the world. We're on 11 of 14 grocery aisles now. We have 7,600 farms, 90% of them family owned and operated, 75% of them less than 100 acres, and we're producing 80% of the world's supply of almonds.
And when we talk about almond producers, there have been some challenges in the past with pretty much the entire crop grown in California. What are some of the challenges that the producers have been faced with here? Would water be on near the top of the list?
Yeah, two things that we focus on, and I don't think they've changed really from one year to the next in the last 2 years. If we don't have a functioning supply chain and a reliable water supply, there's almost no point to anything else that we're doing. So those are our tier one priorities when it comes to almond farming in California and in the United States. So as we look at that, we've had an interesting change, and this is typical of the irrigated West. Here we are on a Mediterranean climate. That's what allows us to grow almonds the way we do. But that means we get our rain and snow in the winter, and then that sustains us through the drier summer months. We don't get rain in the summer like you do in other parts of the country. And so the ability to capture, store, and move that water reliably is what has made California one of the largest ag economies in the world, and what has allowed the almond industry specifically to become the size and scale that it is and to be sustained as such. When we have various regulatory challenges or actual challenges from years of drought that have allowed that system to not function in the way that it's supposed to, our reservoirs and our canals, it leaves us at a deficit. And it leaves us having to kind of get ourselves out of that. So when we get into a year like this, where we have abundant snow and abundant rain, 9 atmospheric rivers hitting us at the same time, it's about using that existing system and making sure the policies and the regulations that administer that system allow us to capture, store, and move that water for the time of dry, and to recover our aquifers so that we can replenish that system and keep us in kind of this holistic, what I call total portfolio water management. And so we're really pushing in this space where we have a water supply structure and laws that are very out of date, trying to keep up with our modern technology and our modern demand and our modern relationship to the resource. So we're really working with state and federal officials to modernize not only the infrastructure itself, but also the policies that administer it, to allow for more reliable water supply. And true climate resilience is the ability to deliver water and the ability to protect from flood, and that's what the system's designed to do. So we need to update that to keep up with our new challenges and changes.
If I am counting correctly, you mentioned 2 there. Water one,
yep.
The other is that infrastructure, supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, you were ringing the warning bell. Actually, we were past the warning bell stage at that point with some issues that had popped up. Where are we today?
Sure. So you're right. A year ago, we had a lot of product that was sold here in the United States, over 900 million pounds. To put that into scale, we produce anywhere from 2.6 to 3 billion pounds a year. We had almost 940 million pounds that we had sold but couldn't move. And our season starts August 1. So we had a short window to get this product off our shores. Why is that a crisis for us? Because our farmers don't get paid until that product gets delivered. And so we were facing a total socioeconomic tragedy if we couldn't get that product off our shores. Through some interesting dynamics, opening up new channels, what we call a multimodal, multi-port strategy, where before we sent almost 80% of our ag product out of the Port of Oakland, we decided, well, let's meet the boats where they are. If they aren't going to come to Oakland and pick up our product, let's go down to LA and get on the boat there. Let's go out to Houston and get on the boat there. Let's go out to Norfolk and Savannah and Newark and get on the boat there. Well, how are we going to get there? Well, now we go multimodal. Okay, trucks are great. How about rail? We partnered with the Union Pacific. Started moving product in containers around to get them closer to our farms, away from the congestion at the ports, and get our product out through other avenues and channels. We were able to move a lot of that product. We had some issues with port strikes and some labor issues that maybe have slowed us down a little bit, but now we have more what I call Legos on the table. So this year we do have a lot of crop sitting again. We have about about 800 million pounds that we need to move. That being said, we're ahead of the game and we have new partners and we have new strategy. So we feel a little bit more confident in the ability to move the product, but this year the global market's different. And so now trade is rising as a higher priority for us. And so the ability to sell product when the dollar is so strong as an export crop is a little difficult. But our industry, I would tell you, they're resilient. They know these are tough times and we're just going to need to keep moving product in order for us to get through this phase. Same as the water. We got to get through the drought to get to the flood so we can get into the next phase and right size and keep moving forward.
So I've really kind of guided this conversation through things that I know are going on, but obviously inside the industry you have a better view, a unique aspect, if you will. What else is on your radar for the rest of this year?
So I would say, kind of piggybacking off of that, the supply chain is clunky, but it's moving. We've got these new avenues, we're going to keep pushing product, but the trick now is selling that product. So trade is top of the scroll now. Part of that functioning supply chain is having a functioning market. And so we look at, everything from the retaliatory tariffs. This is something that we've seen come up. It still is continuing to drive. I don't have a problem with protecting American jobs. I have a problem with protecting American jobs at the expense of other American jobs. And that's kind of the dynamic we're in there. So that's in that category. Then we have our non-tariff barriers. These are some of the MRL rules and the irregularities across Europe that are dictating to us, and constantly changing in the rules, how we need to grow our product, package our product, treat our product, get it overseas. We need some consistency in that space. These are, I think, some opportunities that we want to see addressed in the current Congress with this administration. So again, if you don't want to deal with retaliatory tariffs, fine, I get it. Let's deal with some things that we can control. And the last one is, let's open new markets. We actually have a great new developing market out there, I think, in a lot of parts of the world, that if we created some trade advantages, we'd really do some great good of getting our growing product to a growing world that is demanding our product. Almonds don't have a demand problem. We have a market and a shipping problem right now. We have people that want to buy our product. We just need, I think, a little more grease to get them out and get them to them. And there's this great new population that I think is going to really appreciate the product and the diversity of the product that we have as this high, stable protein that we can keep and deliver any time of year.
So if we want to learn more about the Almond Alliance, keep up with what you're doing, can we do that online?
You bet. You can find us at almondalliance.org and across any of your favorite social media platforms. We put out videos once a week. We try to just take this complicated world and make it so people can understand it. We think almonds are pretty darn cool, not just because it's what we do and what we grow, but we are one of the largest exports for ag in the United States. Actually, we're in the top 4. And so when we talk about, needing to get back out in the world, that's about getting America back out in the world. And so we want to partner with all our friends in ag all across the country and continue to do that.
Great to see you. Thanks
Likewise.
For your time.
You bet. Have a good show.
Again, it's Aubrey Bettencourt. She's CEO of the Almond Alliance. From the 2023 World Ag Expo in Tulare, California, I'm Tony St. James.